You're listening to the Back Porch Talk podcast. Danny and Jason had many discussions and debates on the back porch while making pivotal investment moves with assets. That's right, with trading cards. They welcome you to the back porch and right into those discussions about current sports news with a fresh and unique twist. So come on and join us. Welcome to the Back Porch Talk podcast. I'm your co-host, Jason.
Your co-host, Danny.
Fans, we have a full show for you today, but before we get into it, go ahead and go ahead and subscribe. Let the algorithm. You know we need that to happen. So, Danny, there's a whole lot going on in the NFL world, and also a little Formula One. But first, right into the NFL, and where, oh boy, the Green Bay Packers finally embraced the losing streak at Lambeau against heated rival Minnesota Vikings, and where the Packers prevailed 23-6. This wasn't really a game, Danny. It really wasn't. I mean, it was great to see Packers defense continue their streak of dominance. It was good to see the Packers offense to click a little bit. Jordan Love, 14 for 21, 139 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But nonetheless, man, Emmanuel Wilson carries the rock 28 times for 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian Watson, 5 receptions for 49 yards. Dontavian Wicks, 2 receptions for 32. On the other side here, J.J. McCarthy just continues to struggle, man. 12 for 19, 87 yards, 2 interceptions. Part of that has to come with the Packers defense, but man, we'll see what happens with the Minnesota Vikings, but I'm more so concerned with how the Packers play. They find a way to win, Danny, and it's not the prettiest, but a win is a win. Now they go on to play the Detroit Lions in Detroit on Thanksgiving. That's going to be a game for you. And Detroit narrowly ekes out a win themselves, 34-27 against the New York Giants. Jameis Winston has his game, 18 for 36, 366 yards, 2 touchdowns. I believe he had a touchdown reception himself. Throws a pick, but hey, that's what Jameis Winston does. But he throws the rock down the field, and he made the New York Giants competitive. Just the whole moxie, just the whole flow of the New York Giants, man. But Detroit, Jared Goff goes for 28 for 42, 2 touchdowns, an interception, 279 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, man, golly, 15 carries for 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. This game on Thanksgiving Day, early, and that's the early game, is going to be exciting to watch. So just as you all get your turkey and your fixins and all that stuff, popping off and getting it ready for the big feast, go ahead, get your umbrella drink, get it ready to watch this game because this is going to be a fun one. Danny, one other game of note here that I do want to mention, well, 2 other games real quickly. One being that of the Cleveland Browns against the Raiders, and where Shedeur Sanders starts for Cleveland. And I read something where a Cleveland Brown quarterback that started the game hasn't won a game since 1999 or 95 or something like that. But Shedeur Sanders wins the game 24-10 against the Las Vegas Raiders. It's just a whole lot happened with the Raiders, man. You just fired offensive coordinator. Just a whole lot happening there, man. They're going to vie for the number 1 pick or a top pick here. Same with the Cleveland Browns, but Shedeur Sanders impresses, man. 11 for 20, 209 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. But it's just the moxie. It's just the feeling on the sidelines that I think really helped the Cleveland Browns. Now, granted, this victory was against Las Vegas Raiders, but a win is a win, man. I would like to see Shedeur Sanders get some more reps at
Mhm.
practice with the first team. And ultimately, I think he's been named the starter for next week. And so that game is going to be interesting because the Cleveland Browns actually plays the 49ers. And the 49ers play tonight against the Panthers. It's just a whole lot happening, Danny. A whole lot happening. One other game of note here. Man, it was the NFL was its own one yesterday, man. Eagles Cowboys. Cowboys prevailed 24-21. They were down 21 nothing. Came all the way back. The largest comeback victory in Cowboys franchise history. And something going on with the Eagles, man. This offense is not clicking. The offensive line just is not blocking like they once were, and it's just not clicking in Philly, man. So we'll see. We'll see what happens moving forward. But at this juncture, Thanksgiving, you should know who and what your team really is. I just don't think Philly knows who they really are at this juncture. That says a lot coming and being the defending Super Bowl champions. What say you, Danny, about the NFL weekend?
Jason, just to add a couple things to what you mentioned, gotta give a shout out to Miles Garrett, man. Three
Mhm.
sacks, he was like 18
Crazy.
sacks.
Crazy.
Man, that defense had 10 sacks yesterday on Geno Smith. Nasty. Well, it says a couple things, man. The offensive line with the Raiders is just in shambles,
Trash.
man. They're struggling. They have injuries. And Geno
They
has
fired Chip Kelly.
fired Chip Kelly. They just don't have any time. But Miles Garrett, man, he's looking at that single season record, and I think he's on pace to get it. So something to watch in the background. Atlanta Falcons get their first victory in November by defeating the New Orleans Saints yesterday. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? And the defense came to play, man. Kirk Cousins actually had a decent game, threw for 199 yards, two touchdowns, one interception, which I won't necessarily blame on him. I think it was Kyle Pitts. It got popped in the air, and then New Orleans returned it for a touchdown. But Atlanta wins the game. New Orleans field goal kicker was 1 for 3. I think he will get cut, I should say. On the Atlanta side of the ball, Mooney had a good game, got a touchdown, 3 catches, 24 yards. They distributed the ball across all the receivers with London being out. So great win. Now we'll see if they can build some momentum going to the Jets next week. And then the Buccaneers got handled last night. Baker Mayfield goes out with a shoulder injury, which was interesting because he went out and he was holding his shoulder. If you watched the game, you saw him holding his left shoulder, but he went out after throwing a Hail Mary, but that's his right arm. So something was weird there with that. I couldn't figure out that dynamic. The Rams destroy them 34-7, which makes it even more frustrating being a Falcons fan because this division's for the taking, but we've put ourselves so far in a hole, man, it's going to be hard to come back, but we'll see. Bears win another game at the end, 31-28 over the Steelers. So they're doing their thing, continuing to win. Big game next week for them. They're the Black Friday game against the Eagles. So we'll see how that game plays out. And then the Chiefs pull out a victory against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not Indianapolis, big loss.
Yeah.
They could have knocked out the Giant, and they didn't. So
Hmm.
now Chiefs
Hmm.
have some life. They play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. You talk about some eyeballs on some games on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Packers, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys, Ravens, Bengals with Joe Burrow coming back as the night game. So, all in all, like you said, Jay, great weekend for football. I'm just happy we actually won a game in November.
And to add to that Cleveland Browns game, man, I saw the locker room celebration and where they were passing out game balls. And let me just say, man, it was some shade thrown at Shedeur Sanders. It's something going on in Cleveland, man. They don't want him there, or shall I say, it seems like the front office
Hmm.
or certain individuals in the front office doesn't want Shadur Sanders there. The fans want Shadur Sanders there. Look, man, the Cleveland Browns are like what 3-8.
Yeah.
They're not going to the playoffs. You need to find out what you have,
Hmm.
and if you don't want him, you know what? Go ahead and let him increase his trade value and trade him.
Hmm.
I would imagine that there's going to be, certain teams that will want him,
Yeah.
i.e., possibly even the team that he played yesterday. Yeah, Gino's there, but maybe Shadur can be there. If you don't want the player, man, just go ahead and increase the value and trade him.
Hmm. And you
And I
can kind of
bet,
tell that, Jay, when Stefanski's talking.
yeah, man, he's like
Like,
in for his first start.
yeah,
Congratulations, Shadur saying. I'm like, oh man, this is
I just
sad.
know he don't want to talk about it, man. And I think that's been the thing ever since the draft, right? Draft night. Who was going to be the team that takes him? Cleveland ended up taking him. Dissension in the ranks as far as what happened. But hey, like you said, you got to give him an opportunity now. They named him the starter.
Yep.
Let's see what he has. And like you said, the season's lost. So give some the fans something to actually look forward to. Dylan
Yeah.
Gabriel, he's not going to throw it down the field. He's more of a
Mm-mm.
dink and dunk kind of guy. So this at least gives him something to look forward to. And then if he doesn't do well, then he was a fifth round pick.
Well, not only that, Danny, but you're 3-8. At least give something to the fans so they can come spend the money, to watch Shadur. I mean, just from
Did
a
you see all
business
those
stand,
12 jerseys in the crowd yesterday?
yeah, man. Like I said, just from a business standpoint, it's like
Yes.
this makes all the sense in the world. And I bet you they're going to stick with Shadur because the fans want him. If nothing else, green talks. So
And this is a business.
exactly, exactly. So, and now Danny, right into Formula One, and where here we have Formula One on U.S. soil in Vegas. Max Verstappen does it again, really right off of the first turn. He takes control and didn't let up. There's something going on Ferrari. Sir Lewis Hamilton starts at number 19, eventually gets up to number 10, and with the disqualifications of the two McLaren cars, he moves up to 8. Before Sir Lewis Hamilton got into Ferrari, just Ferrari's race day management, their strategy has always been questionable. My hope was that with a 7-time world, well, should be 8-time world champion coming into the fold, that you really start crossing your T's, dotting your I's, buttoning up on strategy, communication, just the normal flow of a race day. We're not seeing that. And one of the interviews that Sir Lewis Hamilton had afterwards was, and I quote, "This is the worst year ever." That says a lot. So I'm wondering what's going to change within Ferrari because this can't continue to happen.
Hmm.
Can't continue to happen. Uh, the disqualification on the McLaren cars was due to a plank material. The measurement of the wear of the plank material was 0.12 millimeters on Lando Norris's car and 0.26 millimeters on Oscar Piastri's car. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. That's crazy. So by those two cars getting disqualified, that puts Max Verstappen back in the running for a world title yet again. You
Hmm.
kidding me? So instead of him being several point, I mean, we're talking about pretty much unreachable. He's only 24 points behind Lando Norris with, I want to say, 2 races left in the season.
Yep.
This is absolutely crazy. So this plank material, according to the Four Letter Network, ESPN, they indicate the following: running the car low to the ground can yield more performance from the underfloor aerodynamics. But run it too low, and the team runs the risk of introducing potentially dangerous losses of downforce as the car bottoms out. Basically, since it's going to be, an unfair advantage, if you
Mhm.
will. And so this is going to be interesting 2 races here. Anything can happen. Did not see this coming, but here we are. What say you, Danny, about Formula One?
Exciting weekend, Jay, in Las Vegas for the race. One other thing of note is the team standings. So with that disqualification, because Piastri and Norris were in the 2 and 4 spots, that Mercedes took 2 and 3 in this race after Verstappen. So now they're in second over Red Bull, way behind McLaren. So they ain't catching McLaren in these next 2 races, but they're holding that 2 spot right now. So that was big on the points front for them. And then, yeah, it was insane, man. Once I saw the news about them being disqualified, and
I was like,
well,
what?
I know I had asked for, trying to make it interesting, but dang, man. Because it was McLaren and they were doing it again, right? 2 and 4. Everything was looking on the up and up. But something like this, you just wonder how it impacts them these next 2 races.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the track looked good in Vegas, man. Had the stars out.
It is good. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Had the sphere and everything going on. So, great race, but just unfortunate, man, to see McLaren get disqualified, man, kind of taint the race, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
But it worked out to a few people's advantages, especially Mercedes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for joining us at Back Porch Talk Podcast. You can also join us on Twitter by tweeting us at back_podcast. For more information, you can go to our website, which is backporchtalkpodcast.com. You can also email us at backporchtalkpodcast@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us, and remember that there's enough hate in the world, so go ahead and spread a little love.